just done a bit of reflecting this morning, and I'm just pondering on how life is just like school, but like just 10 times better, 20 times better. You see, we're always learning in life. I've learned so much in just the last week. I'm just going to go through some of the lessons that I've learned over the last week. But why do I say it's better than school? Well, of course, we all go to school, and every single one of us will have at some point in time have gone to school, had an education of some sorts or another, will have been taught things, will have been taught how to live, how to be successful, how to carry ourselves throughout this world, how to be the person that we deem as being successful. I don't always agree with what we've been taught. You see, very often, I believe that very often our parents, our teachers, our siblings, our mass media even try to tell us how we need to behave to be successful in life. More often than not, there is no ulterior motive involved at all. It comes from a place of love. It comes from a place of dedication and commitment on the part of our teachers and our parents. They are literally just telling us how we need to behave, what we need to do to be successful in our lives and to be happy in our lives, because that is what they were taught. And it's no wonder, therefore, that we go through life just repeating the cycles of other people in past generations who have gone through the same sort of lives. There's a few tweaks, of course, because in each generation there's certain modern elements that come in, so we adjust our lives accordingly. But fundamental at a values and beliefs level, we pretty much live the same kind of lives that our parents lived. We have pretty much the same kind of mindset, the same kind of belief patterns that our parents did, our uncles did, our grandparents perhaps did, and perhaps our teachers and all the other teachers that come through in this journey that we call life. But, and there is a but, the but is that if we continue to behave like this, if we continue to think like this, we are literally going to continue to repeat the cycles that everybody else has been on. And therefore, we will never really experience anything new. So I believe that if you really want to live a life that is different, a life that is on your terms, then you need to be a disruptor. And what I mean by that is that you need to think outside the box. In fact, you need to think that there is no box anymore, that you can think life with a sense of freedom that you never thought existed before. Because the truth is that we all have that ability within us to do that. I very often say that, we as a society are living in the Matrix. I don't know if you've ever watched the film The Matrix, where, the vast majority of society are walking around doing their daily activities, thinking that they are living life in accordance with their own terms. But actually what's happening is that they are living life in accordance with a computer program that's been preset for them. And it's only a very small number of the people within the Matrix, the film, The Matrix, that actually have woken up. Now they see life when they take this pill or that pill, the red pill or the blue pill. They see life for its reality. They see life for its griminess. They see life for its wonderment. And they also develop supernatural powers. So when they are replaced back into the world, they have these supernatural powers. So if you look at Neo, played by Keanu Reeves, he has these supernatural powers where he is faster than anybody else. He can do things. He can jump higher than anybody else. He develops these supernatural powers because he is now alive. And I'm saying that when we break out of the Matrix ourselves, when we break out and we start living life in accordance with our own terms, we also can develop these supernatural powers. Now, I'm not talking about you jumping 20 feet in the air, and I'm not talking about you running 100 miles an hour, but I'm talking about you developing these supernatural powers where you can create things in your life, create things that none of your ancestors have ever created or been or done or thought. You can do all of that because within us we have this huge potential that we never really tap into until we wake up. So I'm on this constant quest now, this constant journey of constant growth. Let me say hi to a few people before we go any further. Wendell, good to see you. Nisha, good to see you. Sonia, good to see you. Ush, great to see you. Alam, good to see you. Sue, great to see you. Shabs, great to see you guys. Razor, good to see you, and Larry, good to see you. We've got a truly international crowd here. I feel truly blessed. Thank you so much, guys. So I actually believe that we have this hidden power within us already. It exists. It's latent. It's a bit like it's a bit like this simmering little pilot flame. You know, if you've got a gas fire at home. All right. So if you've got a gas fire at home, you'll know that there's always this pilot light that's on. Okay. There's always a pilot flame. But until you turn and click the knob, that flame will not erupt into a flame that's going to keep you warm. So we have this pilot flame that's constantly lit within us all the time. But whilever we are asleep and whilever we're in this trance, that pilot light will never light into a true burning inferno of knowledge, a true burning inferno of potential. And we have that. We are constantly plugged into the source that gives us power. But until we flick the switch, we'll never experience the true source. So I'm on this constant quest of growth. I want to learn every single day. I want to push myself every single day. I want to break down the barriers or the blocks that might confine me every single day. I help other people to do the same. I do that through my speaking. I do that through my coaching. I do that through my training. I go and deliver leadership training to organizations, but then I want to be a disruptive leader. I want to break people. I want to shock people from the way that they traditionally believe that leadership should be demonstrated. I want to let people know that there's a different way of leading people. There's a different way of leading yourself. This is where inner leadership comes in for me. You need to be a disruptor. You need to do things differently, because if you do things the way you've always done things, you'll get what you've always got. So this is about getting a different outcome, a different experience. So this constant search that I have is not just for other people. It's as much for me as it is for other people. So just this week, I've learned so much. I really have. You know, I feel like I've been to university and back because I've learned so much just from the work that I've done with other people. I've learned that, you know, when the chips are down and you think that there is no way to go, there is always a way to go. I had a client a few days ago, and it was a rush client. She contacted me early in the week and she said to me, I desperately need a session with you. And I was struggling to fit her in because, of course, my coaching is unique. My coaching is an all-day intensive coaching. So for that particular client, it would need me to take a whole day out. Nonetheless, I managed to juggle my diary around and fit her in. And she needed to see me desperately because she was having a lot of issues with relationships with her new in-laws, her new husband, and other new people around her as a consequence of her getting married 18 months ago. And it wasn't suiting her, and she felt uncomfortable. She'd gone into an alien family, an alien house. And because she found it so uncomfortable, she found that she was locking herself in a bedroom and not talking to anybody until 8 o'clock at night when her husband would come home. She found that she was so distraught and so disturbed by what she was experiencing that the only way out for her today was the day that she would be announcing to her husband that she was going to get divorced after 18 months of marriage. We did a full day of work with her, and halfway through the day, she suddenly looked at me, and it was that beautiful light bulb moment that every coach looks for. And I got it halfway through the day. She said, oh my God, I've just realized something. This is not about other people. This is about me. I've just realized as I'm talking to you, I've just realized the kind of language I've been using with them and with myself. I've just realized the kind of behavior I've been demonstrating towards them and to myself. I've also just realized that actually their behavior towards me has been a very loving behavior. It's just different, expressed in a different way to how it's always been expressed to me. So all that's happening is I'm going through a period of change. That's all that's happening to me. Actually, the people around me are not bad people. Actually, the people around me are very loving people. But it's me that's not shifted with the change that I brought about by getting married. I've not shifted with the change, and I've not adjusted, and I've not compromised. Guys, as a consequence, she's gone back today, not to tell her husband that she's going to have a divorce, but to speak to her husband and to her mother-in-law and to her sister-in-law to tell them that she wants to adjust her thinking and her behavior, and she wants their support to do it, and she wants closer relationships with every single member of their family. How beautiful is that? But had there not been an intervention, what could have happened? What could have happened was that she would have gone through a divorce. It may have been a painful process for everybody concerned. And as a consequence of that, she may have been put off from having another relationship for a long, long time. What did I learn from that? I learned from that no matter how resolute you seem to be of the negative outcomes that you might expect, until you give yourself the time to sit down and circumspect and really think things through from all perspectives, not until you give yourself that time to do that can you see the true picture. So perspectives and communication were the two things that I learned that day. What else have I learned? I've learned that if you talk to people, if you're prepared to remain open to talking to people, whoever they may be and whatever they may look like, true magic can happen. Within 24 hours of talking to that young lady, I had to hire emergency premises to hold my coaching session in. And I ended up talking to the guy that owns those premises. And while the premises look like an industrial unit, actually what he does there is quite spectacular. He runs 3 businesses from there, and he's just about to launch another business. And as we got talking, he realized that he needed somebody like me to actually be a part of that second business, and he wants me to contribute towards that business. Now that's a really great opportunity for me to do and spread my word to a greater number of people, new people who are not already within my network. So it allows me to create a bigger ripple effect. And that only happened because I was prepared to sit down and talk to this guy and be really open and really receptive to everything that he was doing and saying. So there's another thing. So 2 big things that I've learned this week. Last night I was at I'd been asked to be a keynote speaker at a charity motivational event. And the young lady who'd organized this charity motivational event had never done one in her life. She contacted me about 2 months ago, so really excited. She says, I want to create this event that inspires people, and she wants to do, I want to do it for charity. I want to do it for this young girl who's got a disease called SMOD, and I'll not remember what it stands for, but I think it's skeletal-muscular something and respiratory disease. Actually, it's a very terminal disease, and this beautiful young girl is 8 years old, and her dream is to go to Disney World in Florida. And Whitney, the girl who'd organized this event last night, in the space of just 2 months, managed to get some incredible people around the table, incredibly generous people around the table, and we raised, as a consequence of last night, £730 was the last count, which is a lot of money to raise in just 2 months. And I felt proud and honored to be part of that. And I also learned from that when you come from a place of love, people see it, people feel it, and people respond to it. The greatest power that we have in the universe is this power of love. And I'm not talking about the gushy kind of love that we talk about. I'm talking about a real deep sense of love. When you approach everybody and everything in life with this real deep, compassionate sense of love, true magic happens. People resonate with that. People feel the energy, and people respond to that energy. So life is like school. Life is like university. Life is like school, university, college, all combined, and then more so. That is my experience in life. Let me say hi to a few people. So, hey, we've got a lot of people here. Thank you so much, guys. Paul, great to see you. Claudia, great to see you all the way from South Australia. Elvira, all the way from Ukraine, good to see you. Ansar, good to see you. Lee, good to see you. Revital Youth Span, good to see you. Larry says, good story for us to think about. Well, she says, that's so cool. What an awesome moment for her to realize that. Absolutely, it was incredible. Barbara, great to see you. Ninda, great to see you. Sophie, great to see you. Great to meet you last night, Sophie. You were incredible. I loved listening to what you were saying, and your adventures that are forthcoming in 2018, just off the scale. And remember, if you need to know about India, just contact me. Whitney, here's the star lady from last night. this lady, Whitney Marine, you guys, you need to follow what she's doing. She's a remarkable human being, and I think she's a very young lady, and I think she's got a great future ahead of her. You just need to watch that space. So if you can link in with her, link in with Whitney, beautiful, beautiful, heart-centered young lady, and she should be truly, truly proud of what she achieved last night. V, all the way from India, great to see you, my brother. Beju, great to see you too. Elvira, great to see you. Whitney says, thank you. You were amazing. Not half as amazing as you were. And some very nice comments from lots of other people. Thank you so much, guys. But listen, the key message of today is this. We can spend all of our lives going through some educational process or another. We go from one institute to another institute to another institute. The conveyor belt of life will take us down this process. We go from being toddlers, being taught by our parents, through to nursery school, infant school, kindergarten, up to junior school, high school, college, university. And then after that, you'll go into work, you go into apprenticeship schemes, you'll go into some kind of probation scheme with your work. You'll grow through your work, and you constantly are bombarded with knowledge. And you're constantly bombarded with some sense of education, people trying to tell you how things should be done, how you should behave, what is expected of the person that is likely to become more successful. Now, much of that information is relevant information. Much of that information comes from a really great place. It comes from a place of love and caring and people who genuinely want you to do well. But I'm guessing what I'm saying to you is check everything, question everything, and check to make sure that you're not being compartmentalized and that you are not being boxed into a certain kind of rigid kind of thinking. Remain open to what's around you, remain open to what's possible for you, and think life on your own terms, be life on your own terms, and do life on your own terms. For goodness sakes, you know, we have been put on this earth with this highest level of consciousness amongst the animal kingdom, this power to discriminate, and yet we don't even utilize this power because we prefer to live this life in a trance. We prefer to live this life in this sense of hypnosis that we're stuck in. And I'm saying break away from that. When you have that conversation in your head, check that conversation, question that conversation. When you need to, when your mind is telling you that you can't do something, when you have this fear that creeps into your head, check it, look for the evidence and challenge it. Challenge it. Challenge the knowledge that comes into you and challenge yourself on a daily basis. It is no more than that. There is no other rocket science behind this. I am no more special than any other person. I have just chosen to live my life on these kind of terms. But for so many years of my life, I was stuck in this institutionalized kind of thinking. I was stuck in this societal way of thinking because I thought that was it. But since I've woken up, my life has changed, it's transformed, and yours can too. It is no more than that. And the sooner you do it, the better it will be for not just you, but everybody else around you. Every person that you interact with will be inspired by some element of you. People will see you differently. And the second thing I would say to you is always, always, always come from a place of sincere, deep love and compassion. I hope that's been really useful for you. I hope you have an amazing Saturday wherever you are, guys. And thank you so much for having this global audience for today's Facebook Live, reaching all ends of the world. I really love that. And thank you so much. God bless you all. Have an amazing day and go and wake up and live life on your own terms. Bye-bye now.